Hi, this is Yan Wang. You guys can call me Philip, the team leader of Yoyofriends, and today we're going to do an overview on the Yoyofriends Rio. Company intro Yoyofriends. We are the manufacturer FPM, and all of our yo-yo players all around the world combine together to make an awesome yo-yo company, and we make awesome yo-yos, pushing the limits of manufacturing, and to provide players with the yo-yos of their dreams and just have awesome ideas and give back to the community. All right, so recently we just sponsored the DFW etc. Throw Series. Very awesome. Shout out to Philip Pacific for handling all the contests. I am also honored to be a judge. Also shout out to all the winners, and also Nathan Joseph for the awesome MC. Seriously, he's like one of the best MC ever. Yeah, and definitely check that out later. Shout out to them. And yeah, so let's get into the overview. Okay, so Rio. First look at the Rio. The Rio is kind of based on the history. Here's a brief history. So basically, we want to make a kind of an in between a ultra cut and a AOE. So we think that a really good machine plastic will take that spot. Right, the ultra cut is one of the best model metal at that price range, around $30 to $35, and also the shortcut. And also we have the AOE. Where is it? Here it is. At around, it's one of the best at around $15 to $20. So we think that we can do a machine yo-yo, which is like a lot smoother than the injection molded, have a very high performance. If the AOE is more catered towards beginner to intermediate, this is more catered towards intermediate and pro or advanced, and a little bit more fun, even at a super cheap price. So the history obviously comes from the first shape of the Rio comes from, of course, the Dove. We really like the Dove shape, so we made AOE bigger and wider. However, we think the AOE is just slightly too big, not too comfortable sometimes. That needs it because it's injection mold. We can't have like very dense material, so this is polycarbonate. We can make this more precise, more dense, and also just not that vibey. And AOE is actually not even that vibey, but this is basically metal level of zero vibe, right? Glass loose. So we machine it into the Rio. So of course the Rio become wider. We actually based it more on the Dove more. So of course the Rio became wider. It's now 48 millimeter, which is not really too wide because modern competition now is pushing around 50 millimeter plus. So 48 I think is a really good sweet spot between like everyday use and then while still being comp viable, but also like not too wide. And also however, we did not increase the diameter, right? One thing I see for high-performing plastic yo-yo at this price range or in general is the diameter is huge. They're trying to just brute force it with large diameter to add stability and power. We think that we can achieve that with weight distribution instead of just make our diameter bigger for a better weight distribution. So this is more comfortable to hold in hand because it's not that big, and also it's plastic. So that's really cool. All right, so that's the inspiration. So the first prototype, we did it here. This is the first prototype. The dimension against the production is literally around the same. Like we already have the spec ready. However, this thing have a kind of a metal spacer in the middle. So there's a lot of center weight. When I play it, I personally think it was good enough. However, the manufacturer this time carried me. They're like, okay, we can do it better. Because we were developing the strand, our fingersmith at the same time. And they realized, okay, if we get rid of the center spacer and then just use plastic, and we can achieve a lot better weight distribution. We can shove that saved weight from the metal on the outside, right? So that is that. And also, for Rio, of course, prototype 1, we used metal core. So here we notice in strand, because this is bead blasted aluminum, right? You can land it not exactly on the outside in the center, and then it will just glide because it's so smooth and so slippery. It will just guide you inward into that fingersmith hub. So here's the same idea, right? You don't have to land exactly into the hub, into the dimple or concave like this circular thing. You can land it outside, and it's so slippery, it just slips into it, the locking fingersmith. So we use that idea as well, and The prototype 2 was made, which is perfect, right? We got rid of the spacer. We shoved all that weight on the outside. As you can see where exactly we shoved the weight to. Right here, right on the inner rim. So we shoved all this weight to here. So now you can see it clearly here. The prototype 2 and the production are exactly the same. They play 100% the same. We did not change a thing. So you can see here now there's a significantly more inner rim weight here. So it's still on the rim and just making this ridiculously thick. It's like a giant tire. So that's really cool. So yeah, prototype 2 ready. It blew my mind. It plays absolutely amazing. So into the production it goes. So now Rio. All right. That is the first look. Now the spec of the yo-yo, I have it here. All right, smoothness of this yo-yo. I would say this is literally matching the metal yo-yos. Like this is barely any fingernail vibe. I don't even know if mine is a B grade or not, but mine has like almost no fingernail vibe. It was like a 9.9 to a 10. Zero fingernail vibe, barely any. So really good smoothness. This is plastic, by the way. It's machine plastic, so it is what I expected, but still impressive nevertheless. Power on this yo is awesome. It walks the AOE and Dove at the same time. This yo I think is around 66 point something gram, 66.5. So it's not exactly light, but not super heavy considering it's a plastic, and also it's not big in diameter, right? So the diameter is fairly small at around 56-ish. So it still needs like a lot of power. Like this amount of power is amazing. I would say this kind of matches like a metal in terms of, like a competition metal in terms of power. That's just telling you how much power this yo-yo have. You can go over long combos with this, no problem. Actually, one of our player, James, he just got it, and he can do his like very long horizontal, like behind the back, all over the place horizontal with it, and only a few yo-yos can do that. So that's just a testament of how powerful this yo-yo is. Stability is very nice. I will say it is strong point now because this yo-yo is not super big in diameter, and it is decently wide at 48. Mind you, this is a plastic yo-yo, right? We cannot have like an insane weight distribution against like, let's say a 75 or 7068 monometal aluminum. But because we got rid of the spacer, because of the clever weight distribution and super thick rims, it is really stable. It's not like the best in stability. I would say stability is around a shortcut. We're slightly lower, but it's around a shortcut. Acceleration on this yo-yo is great. Why? Is because of the metal 6061 core in the center. That is still adding a lot of center weight. So picking up speed is really, really good. You will have no problem picking up speed. Like this is actually one of the fastest plastic you can play, I think, in my opinion, if you really push it. There's like no lag, right? One thing about plastic is sometimes there is like a little bit of a lag, but this one doesn't have it. This one just goes where it wants you to go. I mean, if you want it to go there, it will just go there. Doesn't have that much lag at all. So very, very cool on that front. Top speed on this yo is actually great because power and acceleration is great. And also there's kind of decent flow to it. So you can push this yo very hard without losing control. Yeah. It's comparable to a competition monometal. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The weight distribution and just the way it plays, it does not lose to a competition level monometal. Not just normal monometal, like a competition level monometal. So that's top speed flow. It's there. It's probably less than a like an AOE or Dove because of the extreme weight distribution and just like how precise this machining is. So it's definitely still there. Still a lot because it's a plastic, but overall the power, stability, and also just like, you know, precision kind of outshine the flow and the float in that case. This is more like, it feels compy, it feels fun. Not super fun, but it feels compy, it feels agile. That is that kind of feel. Horizontal is actually good. Like I say, James did this horizontal, and I can do it no problem. Like doing horizontal on this hill is actually very easy. I think it's because of there is still some flow there, and the acceleration is great, and stability and power is great as well. Like you can do long horizontal combos on it, no problem. Long horizontal combo, not even short, like straight up long horizontal combos. Bind on the hill is also great. The gap width, however, is a little bit narrow in the modern standard. It's 4.50. So usually like 4.50 to 4.6 is the sweet spot. So my string recommendation is kitty normal, kitty fat, and OT normal. I think if you go to kitty XL or OT fat, it might be too snaggy, I'm not sure. However, my teammate tested OT fat is fine, but for me to be safe, OT normal, kitty normal, or kitty fat. Those are the three recommendations. Okay, finger grind on the cereal. I actually never tried finger grind. Okay, you can do it. The plastic is not like the best surface, but if you use your fingernail, it's doable. It's a giant like wall here, or kind of like a lip that you can use. And thumb grind. Oh, that was thumb grind. Sorry, finger grind. Very good. I think this yo is blasted, so it's like pretty smooth. So yeah, I just did all that, and the yo still spins fine. So very, very good. Finger spin. This is great. So finger spin, of course, is not gonna be the strand. The strand have like very, very hard slope. Right, so the strand slope is like this. So your finger can. This one is like more mellow. This is like here, but this is have like a wider but shallower finger spin dimple. So this one, like once you lock in, it's not like completely smooth. It's pretty easy to lock in. However, like when you finger spin it, like it might vibrate a little bit, but yeah, it's decently locked. Yeah, but it's still very good. So if you don't touch the super thick rims, you're fine. Like if you get your finger into the 6061 aluminum, you're good to go. And when it's locked, it might vibrate a little bit. I'll be honest with you guys, it's not like the best. However, if you just loosen up your finger, it's fine. So, and this will finger spin forever. Depends on if you're like using fingernail or finger. You use finger skin, because I'm a fingernail spinner and this is just no problem for me. But if you're a fingernail spinner, it might cause some trouble. But I would say, in my opinion, this is not 100% meant for finger spin. This is just like an add-on. I think the raw performance and just the playability of this yo-yo, and of course the pricing, it's highlight. It outperforms anything in that price range. Plastic construction, by the way, period. In my opinion, it's just that good. It's just so much power without adding so much diameter, and it's just the overall feel of the yo-yo. It's very, very good. It's comp viable. It can do anything. So that is conclusion, by the way. So of course, the Rio is named after, like, I think a movie. It's like a bunch of birds traveling around the world or to another destination, and they made a movie out of it. It's like a comedy movie. So very, very cool. Yeah, shout out to Tony's son. He is the one who recommended the name, and we think it's awesome. And yeah, the nice and simple, right? Rio, 3 letters. Everybody knows how to pronounce it. It's also a city in Brazil, so that's pretty cool. We had this giant thick rim, so we can have very big Yoyofriends logo, and then the Rio logo here, so it gives a little bit more flair into it, a little bit more uniqueness. So that is Rio. So conclusion, if you want a sub $30, $20-something yo-yo, and that just absolutely slays, like, look at this. Like, you can use it in competition, but you can use it for fun. It's comp viable. It's whatever you can do. It can also finger spin. There's really no weakness here. Like, in my personal opinion, I don't even compare this against a shortcut, because I think this walks the shortcut in terms of performance. Maybe not in power and stability department, but everything else, if I were to compete, I would not use the shortcut, I would use this. It's like, I compare this against like the Ultra Cut. That's how good this yo-yo is performance-wise. Like, it can go toe-to-toe with the Ultra Cut. It might lose, it's probably gonna lose, but that's just how good this yo-yo is. It's more fun. The power and stability and the performance can go toe to toe or even beat most of the monometal competition level monometal. And this is just amazing that we achieved this because of like this giant rim and then shoving the spacers and getting rid of the spacer and putting the weight out there. So thank you all for watching, and that is my overview on the Yoyofriends Rio. And see you guys next time. Bye.